I'm Bruce Fowkes, and I am the business partner of Ralph Richards, and together with our 9 craftsmen, we are Richards, Fowkes and Company. I studied music as a kid, and organ in particular, to be specific, and but I've loved so many things: art, architecture, music, and when I was in college, one of my professors suggested that I might make a better organ builder than an organ player. And he was right. It set me on my path. And I get to combine all of these things. My love of architecture and history really come into play with the pipe organ. I mean, I have been able to study 500-year-old organs in Europe and see the thread and the history that gets us to where we are today. This organ is special for a number of reasons. It was built in 1977 by the Flantrop Organ Company of Zaandam, Holland. And it was the brainchild of Fenner Douglas, an instrument that was a specialty instrument, shall we say, in that it would reflect the high zenith of French Baroque music. And there were none of these instruments in the States at that time. And that gave it a peculiar focus, a special focus, and it made it a destination instrument, if you will, for organists from all across the country. It has the ability to be very grand, but my favorite thing are the soft voices. I love the flutes on this instrument, and the way they interact with the room it's very poetic, I think. So the reason for our involvement was the instrument is made of wood and it's sealed up with leather, gasketing. And after 40 years of the wood expanding and contracting with humidity from the different seasons, things had started to leak, and the action of the instrument after heavy playing was showing wear, and basically it just was, and it was dirty. It was time for a cleaning and a good restoration of all the parts. So my firm completely dismantled the instrument and rebuilt all of the parts and took them back up to like-new specifications. And then we reinstalled the instrument. Since then, there was another development that happened in this church, and I'm not sure of the date, but originally this church was carpeted to control the acoustic. And so the organ was all voiced for a very different environment than what is currently here. The musicians and the clergy found that liturgy and music did not do well with the carpet. It didn't favor a nice ambiance for sacred space. And so they decided to remove the carpet and opt for a more resonant, lively space, which is, this room is really good for that. especially choral music, and I'm sure it makes the congregation more willing to sing out. You don't feel like you're singing a solo. And in a liturgical church, the response from priest and congregants, it's one liturgy, and the people are equally important in their responses and their psalm singing and their hymn singing as the priest, and the dialogue of the liturgy. So my job has been to revoice the instrument and just rebalance all of the stops to this new acoustic. And so I've softened every rank in the organ and then rebalance them to, from bass to treble for this new acoustic. I feel very passionate about these things. These instruments are a little bit like children. And although this is not my birth child, we didn't build it, we've put as much energy into all of the details as the original builders did. And although it's not exactly my voice, it certainly feels like it. And I think it's going to support, traditional worship for years to come.